Welcome back to part 4 of our live training session here with our K20 Supercharged NSX using AEM Infinity. Now in the last tutorial we focused on the cruise area calibration process. Now we're ready to move into the full throttle tuning, and we're specifically taking a look at our low cam operation or the non-VTEC operation. We're going to learn how to calibrate both fuel and spark using our fuel correction, our lambda correction, as well as our per cylinder knock control to guide us in making all of those changes. In addition to this, we're also going to be taking a look at how to set up and tune with the variable cam control. We have a lot to cover. Let's jump into our tutorial here so we can learn how to calibrate and tune full throttle with the AEM Infinity. Welcome back to our live training session here with our supercharged K20 NSX. Now in the last tutorial we went through the calibration process, taking a look at how to calibrate both fuel, spark timing, variable cam, and fuel injection timing for the part throttle area of driving. We have all that optimized. Now we're ready to turn our attention into doing wide open throttle tuning, getting into boost, specifically on the low cam operation. So low cam is when VTEC has been disabled. We're going to take a look at how to dial our fuel in, how to dial our spark timing in, how to dial the variable cam control in, as well as taking a look at integrating a per cylinder knock control that is going to allow us to have a long-term knock correction so that if we get knocked when the engine's running after we've closed our laptop and we're in racing conditions, it can save the engine, but we can use it to guide us in making our spark timing changes in this tutorial when we're in the calibration stages, because it can tell us when there's knock or not. And as we're adding our timing in, we can get a feel for what's going on. So if we had too much timing and we have knock, we know we need to back it off. So we're going to go through the calibration process from start to finish here. Again, low cam. Next tutorial, we're going to take a look at the high cam or VTEC calibration and tuning. That's pretty similar to what we're going to find here in low cam, just some slight deviations and differences. Again, we'll have a dedicated video for that. And then we will be taking a look at flex fuel-based control in another tutorial yet. We still also have some things like our cold start, launch control, traction control. We're also going to be taking a look at how to configure and set up. So let's jump in here right now. I have the vehicle powered off. I need to get into the online state, so let me turn my key on right now. Let's let it connect. We can see we're showing a not connected status up here at top. Give it enough time here, it should show that we're connected. There we go, it's getting back online right now. So what we're going to do is fire off the engine. You can see the coolant temperature if we actually jump in here to our VE fuel tuning page layout. The coolant temp is showing here about 180 degrees. We just had it running maybe 5-10 minutes ago for the last tutorial. We're jumping right into this tutorial, so we're ready to go. We shouldn't have to wait for the engine to warm up. What we're going to do here, let's discuss that first. In order to calibrate our full throttle area of tuning, we've done a few things. First, we've preliminarily set up our VE table on our volumetric efficiency 1, that's for the low cam operation. We've set this up with reasonable values to get started with to get into boost. Now we don't have to adjust these, but they're starting points. Just as we found our part throttle area here, those were starting points. They were values that made sense, meaning they were reasonable values that I'd expect to have in my part throttle area of operation. In my boost area operation here, these look like they're pretty close. Anywhere between 85 to 120% is what we'd expect as we get into boost, and we'll adjust those as needed. So we have reasonable starting points for the VE values. We have our lambda feedback on. We're going to use our lambda feedback to figure out how far our airflow modeling is off, and then we're going to fix it, just as we did in part throttle. Now, a few other things. Spark timing. Everything in here in boost we've zeroed out. We've purposely zeroed out the spark timing so that we're able to make pulls in boost, get our air and fuel model sorted out. Once that's nailed down, we know that everything's safe, then we can start to bump in our spark timing. Now, this allows us to validate the knock threshold tables here. Just jump into our knock specific page. We have our knock noise floor. This establishes what's knock and what's not knock, what's noise and what's actual knock. And anytime it actually oversteps the floor that we need to set, then we're going to consider that to be knock activity and we want to pull timing out. We're doing this on a per cylinder basis, so if we have one cylinder that's noisy or has an issue, it'll attack just that cylinder, and the rest of the cylinders it'll leave alone, and we can run full timing to those. That is better for power management. It's also better so we can manage any kind of knock activity on the engine. This will allow us to very clearly see when we have an overstep, we have too much timing, as we're starting to bump the timing in. So we'll talk about how to do that and how to validate these knock noise floor. We need to go and start off with really low spark timing where we know we have no knock, and then we can actually use that as the basis for the floor, and then as we add the timing in, we can use that, and the process can be pretty straightforward. I'll show you how to do that. You don't need a chassis dyno to even set up your knock control and to actually do all this full throttle tuning. the benefit here on a chassis dyno is we can see a lot of the before and after as we're making our changes. Now, we also have here the last thing we're going to be really taking a look at and focusing, the variable cam control. Right now this is set at 0 degrees, specifically in boost, so 0 PSI and higher. We need to have definitely higher values in boost. Now, what we're going to find here is that we can start off with it 0 degrees. This is the least amount of overlap. This will produce the most amount of boost. Now, this particular pulley setup on this supercharger should build 20, 22, 24 pounds of boost, something like that. If we take a look at our VE table, we've scaled our VE table up to 28 pounds of boost, as well as our spark timing. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.